I'd say my first real experience, which is 1989, watching the Alan Border win the Ashes for Australia for the first time for a long time, and I remember sitting there watching it with my dad, and that was just a real realisation of exactly how much it means to the Australian public, but more importantly the Australian cricketers as well, because you don't want to lose to the Poms.
For me, '89 stands out because we won it comfortably, and seeing guys like Terry Alderman dictate terms to the Englishmen was always good to watch. And then I guess watching through the early '90s, seeing Warney and Merv Hughes and AB doing so well.
I used to watch when I was a kid growing up the Commonwealth Bank Cricket Academy coaching clinic video, and Steve Orr was on there back foot driving. I think it might have been Headingley or something like that, and he smashed 170 not out. And they just showed those shots non-stop. That's my very first Ashes memory. And, I just went out in the backyard and tried doing them all day after that.
I remember sitting watching when I was a young kid, watching, AB play and all these guys and all the greats of Australian cricket play. But, just sitting there and looking at all these greats and thinking maybe one day that I'd like to be doing that. It's a bit closer now than it was then.
I think early and probably one of my favourites, Jason Gillespie in 1997. He got 6 for 60, and he just bowled so fast and bowled reverse swing and just bowled so well. And I just thought, this bloke's young, he's bowling fast, and he's having a go. And I just thought, that's me all over.
I reckon it might have been Terry Alderman swinging into the front pad of most of the Englishmen, and if he wasn't swinging into their pad, he was nicking it off to heels. So that's my earliest memory.
I guess the one memory that sticks in my mind was Michael Slater scoring his first Test 100 there. I loved watching Slater's bat. He was very aggressive, very positive. I loved the way he played the game, and when he raised his bat and took his helmet off and kissed his badge, I can still picture that clear as day.
Probably not watching it, but hearing a lot about it, I think, was Rodney Hogg in the obviously a long time ago when he took that amazing series, took 42 wickets at 14.28 or whatever he goes on. He always tells me about it whenever I see him. But he, I think, just seeing highlights of that and hearing a lot about that series and how well he went, I think that's the first sort of memories I have of it.
My first memories, my uncle actually played on the '89 tour, Greg Campbell. So I remember his gear getting sent to his home, and I went down there about a week before I left and put the jumper on and felt the baggy green and all that sort of thing. So that for me was where that real Ashes feeling was grown and where it started. Ashes memories personally, I've played with so many great players and so many wonderful things have happened, amazing things have happened really when you look at Ashes cricket, probably the most being Glenn McGrath's miracle catch at Adelaide Oval. But winning the Adelaide Test last time, my first Test 100 was when it was an Ashes 100, so those sort of things there stand out the most.